Who discovered black holes? A long time ago, a very smart scientist named Albert Einstein created a theory called general relativity. This theory helped us understand how space and gravity work. His equations showed that if a very big star collapses, shrinks down completely, it can create something very strange, a black hole. A black hole is a place in space where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape from it, not even light. Imagine if you dropped a ball into a deep, dark hole, and it never came back up. A black hole is like that, but even stronger. The first person to actually write down the math for black holes was another scientist named Karl Schwarzschild in 1915. His calculations showed that black holes could exist, but at that time, people weren't sure if they were real. Later, scientists found real black holes in space. They discovered that black holes could bend and twist space around them, like a heavy bowling ball pressing down on a trampoline. This means black holes create a sort of hole in space itself. Black holes have three special things that describe them. 1. Mass, how big and heavy they are. 2. Spin, how fast they turn. 3. Charge, whether they have an electric charge or not. This idea is called the no-hair theorem, which means black holes only have these three features, no extra details like hair. Scientists have studied black holes for many years, and even though they are mysterious, Einstein's ideas about them still seem to be correct. Today, we know black holes exist because we can see how they affect stars and light around them. They are one of the most exciting discoveries in space science. Would you like to know more about black holes? What are black holes and where do they come from? A long time ago, scientists weren't sure if black holes really existed. But as they studied space, they found clues that proved black holes are real. These clues came from the leftovers of dead stars, called pulsars and neutron stars. The first black hole that scientists ever found is called Cygnus X-1. They discovered it in the 1960s. Like all black holes, Cygnus X-1 is super heavy and has gravity so strong that even light can't escape from it. How many black holes are in our galaxy? Did you know that our galaxy, the Milky Way, might have over 100 million black holes? That's a huge number. But even though there are so many, black holes are hard to find because they don't give off any light. Scientists can only detect them by looking at how they pull on stars and space around them. At the center of the Milky Way, there is a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A star. It is about 4 million times heavier than our Sun. This giant black hole is located 26,000 light-years away from Earth. That means even if we could travel at the speed of light, it would still take us 26,000 years to get there. The first picture of a black hole for a long time, no one had ever seen a real black hole. But in 2019, something amazing happened. A group of scientists used a special telescope called the Event Horizon Telescope to take the first picture of a black hole. This black hole is at the center of a faraway galaxy called M87, which is 55 million light-years away. The image showed a glowing ring around a dark center, proving that black holes exist just like scientists predicted. How do black holes form? Black holes can form in different ways, but the most common way is when a huge star runs out of fuel. Here's what happens. 1. A big star shines for millions of years by burning fuel, just like our Sun too. When the fuel runs out, the star explodes in a giant blast called a supernova. 3. The explosion leaves behind a tiny, superdense core. If this core is heavy enough, it collapses into a black hole. This kind of black hole is called a stellar mass black hole because it comes from a star. Scientists are still studying black holes because there's so much we don't know about them. But one thing is for sure, black holes are some of the most mysterious and exciting things in space. Would you like to learn more about how black holes work? Smiling face with smiling eyes, how big are black holes? Black holes come in different sizes. Some black holes are just a few times heavier than our Sun, while others are much, much bigger. Do all stars become black holes? No, not every star turns into a black hole. It depends on how big the star is when it is born. Smaller stars, like our sun or stars even smaller, don't become black holes. Instead, they turn into white dwarfs, small, glowing star leftovers. Medium-sized stars can become neutron stars, which are superdense but not quite black holes. Very big stars, much larger than our sun, can collapse into black holes after they explode in a supernova. How do some giant black holes form? There's another way black holes can form. Instead of coming from a dying star, some black holes are created when huge amounts of gas collapse together. These black holes are much bigger, with masses between 1,000 to 100,000 times the Sun. Scientists believe this happened in the early universe, helping create the supermassive black holes we see today. Do black holes ever die? Black holes don't die like stars, but scientists think they might slowly disappear over billions and billions of years. This idea was proposed by a famous scientist named Stephen Hawking, who suggested that black holes lose tiny bits of energy over time. This process is called Hawking radiation. How do black holes grow? Even though black holes might shrink very, very slowly, they can also grow. A black hole becomes bigger when it pulls in gas, dust, and even stars that come too close. The stronger the black hole's gravity, the more matter it can swallow up. Black holes are some of the most powerful and mysterious objects in the universe. Scientists are still studying them, and there's so much more to learn. Can black holes disappear? You might think that black holes last forever, but a scientist named Stephen Hawking had a different idea. He suggested that black holes might slowly shrink over time in a process called black hole evaporation. How does this happen? Near the edge of a black hole, which is called the event horizon, tiny particles can appear and disappear. These are called virtual particles. Sometimes, one of these particles falls into the black hole, while the other one escapes into space. When this happens, the black hole loses a tiny bit of energy. Over an extremely long time, the black hole might shrink smaller and smaller until it completely disappears. But don't worry, this would take billions and billions of years, much longer than the age of the universe right now. Are black holes the same as wormholes? No, black holes and wormholes are not the same. What's a black hole? A black hole is a place in space, with super strong gravity that pulls everything inside, even light. Once something enters, it can never come out. What's a wormhole? A wormhole is a theoretical tunnel that could connect two different places in space, or even different times. Imagine bending a piece of paper and poking a hole through it. Wormholes might work like that, letting you travel quickly between faraway points in space. Some scientists think the inside of a black hole could be shaped like a wormhole, but there is no proof yet. Right now, wormholes are just an idea, while black holes are real and have been observed in space. What's next? Scientists are still studying black holes and wormholes, trying to understand how space and time work. Maybe in the future, we will learn even more exciting things about these mysterious objects. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. Your support means a lot.